Hey guys, welcome back. Here we are with another album review. Today I'm going to be looking at Yeezus by Kanye West. Despite the direction he went on this album, it is interesting to see the whole style and sound that Kanye went with. Even if it's not one of my favorite albums of his, it is nice looking into how this album came together and what the process of it was. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into it. This is his sixth studio album that was released on June 18th, 2013. The album has 10 tracks and a runtime of about 40 minutes. It contains two singles as well. They are Black Skinhead and Bound 2. The album was produced by Wes, along with Daft Punk, Mike Dean, and a few others. The album contains guest vocals from Justin Vernon, Chief Keef, Kid Cudi, Assassin, King L, Charlie Wilson, and Frank Ocean. The whole theme and concept of the boxwork as for the CD was to keep it as minimal and stripped back as possible. The CD was simply the CD in the case with the sample credits and a strip of red tape. His explanation of this was that we're not going to be using CDs in the future, so this is more of an open casket for it. In a way, I feel this is true, even if it has been 10 years since this album has been released. CDs are still getting released for albums, but this physical media is nowhere as popular as it used to be, which I feel is why we're not seeing as many in stores anymore, as well as streaming services becoming more popular over the past decade now. The first recordings of the album were held in January 2013 in the living room of his personal loft at a Paris hotel. The compositions were simple in order to hear the tracks more clearly. I feel it is interesting that Kanye went with more of a dubstep way, especially since this was popular in the 2010s, early 2010s, as a lot of artists tried to incorporate some sort of dubstep, or at least some sort of electronics in their music. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Sure, there are times on this album where I don't feel it's bad or overused, but I feel this was more of an electronic album than anything else, and I also get that Kanye was trying to experiment on this album and go a different direction, other than trying to do something that he has done before, or at least do something similar to what he has done before. Now, let's go ahead and hop into some of the tracks. We start the album off with On Sight. I felt it was alright. The instrumental I didn't think was too horrible. This track, as well as a few others, were heavily produced by Daft Punk. I felt the lyrics and vocals also weren't bad. The next track is Black Skinhead. I feel I enjoyed the drums more than really anything else in the instrumental. This track was also produced by Daft Punk. The drums on the track was from unused material that had been recorded for Daft Punk's album were released that year, Random Access Memories. The lyrics of the track are centered around racial tensions and the crumbling mental state of the character Kanye portrays on the album. New Slaves was interesting with its instrumental and sound. The lyrics discuss slavery and segregation, as well as racism in general, materialism and stereotypes of African Americans in the United States. This is one of the more heavier subjects brought up on the album. The track features guest vocals from Frank Ocean. Overall, I didn't find the track to be too bad. Blood on the Leaves is probably one of my least favorite tracks on the album. I wasn't a big fan of the auto-tune, and I didn't feel the vocal sample was one of the best fits on the track. This track samples Strange Fruit by Nina Simone and Are You Ready by Tonight. I felt the lyrics were alright, although we get more dark lyrics. The song shares West's thought on how fame can cause the destruction of relationships while making comparisons to the lynching of African Americans in the United States. Now, I'm going to close us out with Bound 2. This track features vocals from Charlie Wilson. The track also samples Bound by Ponderosa Twins, plus One and Sweet Nothings by Brenda Lee. I feel this is one of the better tracks on the album. I also feel Charlie Wilson did great for the chorus. My favorite tracks are Bound 2 and On Site. Today, I'll be giving this album a 3 out of 5. I wasn't the biggest fan of this album, but there were certain parts that I did actually enjoy. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. As usual, feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I know I messed up looking at the dates of the schedule I created for, this year, album review-wise. This video was actually supposed to come out last week, and last week's video, Magna Carta, Holy Grail by Jay-Z, was supposed to be coming out today, but yeah, I looked at the dates wrong, and, decided to flip these two album reviews around, but next week, I'll be looking at a series of albums. So over the next couple of weeks, I'll be looking at the Joytime series by Marshmello with a couple other albums thrown into the mix, so it's not primarily just those couple of albums. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys all understand that little mix up I had, but I just want to keep these videos rolling out, and yeah, next couple of weeks, again, I'll be looking at the Joytime series by Marshmello. Well, until next time, I'll see you guys.